Dustin, good to see you, man.
Thanks, buddy.
A few days away from this one, looking to get back on track. You got a pretty fun stylistic matchup. How you sort of viewing things a few days before the fight?
Yeah, I feel great, man. I've known about this fight for 15, 16 weeks. Vitor Petrino is a very tough up-and-coming kid, and it's going to be a great matchup. I think it'll be an exciting fight for the fans, and that's what I'm always in for.
You're in a kind of an interesting place in this division right now. You're coming off the loss to Dominic Reyes. I'm curious what you took away from that fight.
Yeah, I took away Dom. I mean, he just caught me, man. He's still really good. He's still very powerful, still really explosive. And it was one of those fights where I thought I was going to get him before he got me, and I just went in for the kill, and he got me with a perfect left hand that could knock out anybody in the division. So, I still believe that I'm one of the best, and I'm right up there in the division. I just got to get a couple big wins and put me right back in the mix.
You've been through so much in the combat sports world. You've seen the ups, the downs, the highs, and the lows. Do you even feel pressure at this point? Because I know you're coming off 2 losses, but since you've been there before, do you feel any additional pressure?
Like you said, man, I've been there before. I don't feel any pressure. I'm just going to go out there and compete and perform. And like I said, I believe in myself. I've always believed in myself. I always prepare properly. I'm always prepared going in there. So I truly believe that I can get the job done.
I wanted to ask you about what happened on Saturday because you and I have talked a lot about Anthony Smith and what he's done for your career and the conversations you guys have had, how much he has helped you. And obviously, he competed on Saturday against Reyes with a pretty heavy heart, and obviously wasn't his night. And it's tough to do that. So what was your reaction to just seeing him go through and try to fight through that adversity and then the fight itself?
Yeah, it was tough to see, man. I felt really bad for him. Scott was a great guy, his coach. I did a lot of training with Scott. Anytime I went to Anthony's gym and worked with him, Scotty was always there, and I felt really bad for him, man. I was worried for him going in there just because I knew he was going to be pretty emotional. And then when I saw the walkout and I saw the tears, I didn't think he was in the best space in his mind. But he's a warrior. He's a true combat veteran. He's a guy that's been through it to get to it. A guy that been on the same path as me. He's fought over 50 pro fights, and very tough guy. So I knew. He's always game. He's always tough. Heck, the week before, man, he's still extremely big and still very good on the ground. I thought that he had a chance to get Dom on the ground, but Dom's had a little bit of a resurgence, and like I said, man, he's still one of the best in the division. I think he's going to have another quick rise to that title here pretty quick.
And then last thing for me, there's a lot going on at 205 right now. You got Alex Pereira's champion. We just found out Jamal Hill's fighting Yuri Prochazka. And then right before UFC 310, we saw a video of Jamal Hill kind of going up on Alex, and things almost popped up there. Alex throws a set of boxing gloves at him, and things almost popped up. What did you think watching that video? Because everybody saw it, and everyone sort of has a different opinion about it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know why Jamal would go in there. If I'm him, I just don't go right up to him. You settle your differences in the octagon. He had his opportunity. He'll probably get another opportunity if he continues to do well. But Pereira, man, he's just again, another gamer. A guy is like, all right, you want to talk? Here you go. Here's the gloves. Let's go in here. And I think that's a dangerous move too, man. Pereira is obviously, one of the best to do it, one of the best strikers there's ever been in the UFC, and with amazing power. So, if that fight happens again, I could see Pereira doing the same thing, that, same outcome.
Over here to your right. Dustin, how do you recalibrate? You've been through this so many times, the highs, the lows. How do you recalibrate to head into a fresh camp?
Short-term memory and bulletproof confidence, man. That's what I always say. That's something. I played college football. I was a quarterback, and that's something we used in the quarterback room often. Short-term memory, bulletproof confidence. What's done is done. I always say you got to keep swinging. You got to keep going out there and putting yourself in a position to succeed. And that's what I do time and time again, man. And like I said earlier, I'm always prepared. And as long as I'm prepared, I expect to win.
How much different is the approach when you go from a Dominic Reyes, a guy that has a lot of high-level experience, to a guy like Petrino, who's on the rise and still kind of learning?
Well, it's still a dangerous fight. He is up-and-comer. He's young. He's hungry. But I do feel that he is a little inexperienced. Look at the Anthony Smith fight. I thought he was doing really well on the feet and then tried shooting in on a high-level black belt. I trained with Anthony. That guy on the ground is just a force to deal with, man. He makes you feel like you're in a wet blanket and just wrapped up. And it just showed the inexperience on Petrino a little bit. But with that being said, man, he's young, he's hungry. I know that I have to go out there and be on my best and perform my best to get the W.
Thank you.
Is there any pressure going into this fight, given your recent record? I know that you kind of try to have a mentality of like short memory, but I wonder if any of that kind of affects going into this fight.
It really doesn't, man, because like the only significant loss there, the only definite loss was the Reyes. That was the only dominant loss. I mean, you go back to the Asmat Mirzakhanov fight, the guy's undefeated. I had him rocked late in the second, dominated the third. I feel like another round, I beat that guy. He was done. The Alonzo Minifield fight, man, is just I kick myself in the ass over and over and over again for that. But that's just not my style. If I would have just coasted, I was winning that fight. I was dominating that fight. It's just not my style. If I would have coasted, I would have won that fight. Instead, I was being the aggressor and got caught with a big left hook and paid the price for it. Dominic Reyes obviously caught me, and it was his night that night. And I guess go all the way back to the Khalil Roundtree fight. I mean, you can say what you want. I still believe I won that fight. So it would be different if I was, getting dominated. And the way Dom beat me, that happens. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happened that night. It was his night, and he's a very, good opponent. So as far as that goes, no, man, I feel like I've been performing well, and a couple punches just didn't go my way, and I expect Saturday night to go my way.
Yeah. As you mentioned, like a deceiving run. So as you mentioned, what are some of the things that you take and learn from that and that you're going to apply moving forward?
Yeah, I just got to be a little bit smarter, fight with a little bit higher IQ, maybe be a little more I hate to say this, but not be so aggressive, not walk in and leave myself open so much. I've always been one that is willing to go toe-to-toe. I've done that in my kickboxing career, my MMA career, and it's got me in trouble a little bit here lately. But I just got to fight with a little more higher IQ.
Thank you.